when God says I love you, it means he has plans to shift you from slavery, from prison, from darkness, and to make you a son. And he says that if you are a son, then you are heirs of the kingdom. And if heirs, then joint heirs. Romans 8. If you are heirs, then you are joint heirs with Christ. There are some of you, you just call yourself a son of God, and you don't even know why it took God so much love in order to make you a son. You don't understand. Whenever sonship is declared on you, inheritance follows. If he was a son, then heirs of the kingdom. But you know what? Most of us are like the prodigal son. You see, we don't understand the mystery of inheritance. There are some people who inherited companies, and the only thing they were interested in was the accumulated money the company has made. They didn't think about the future of the company. They didn't think about building up the company. They didn't think about extending the company. They were all interested about the money there to spend with girlfriends and spend with boyfriends and marry and make family. That was all they were thinking about. And that is what the prodigal son did. When he saw the father's inheritance, he said, give me the riches of them. I don't need to build it anymore. I don't need to develop it anymore. Give me my portion. I'm living. And he went to spend it with the world. And that is what most of us are doing. We are sons, but we don't know that the kingdom is for us, and we must build the kingdom. Instead of seeking for miracle, seeking for healing, seeking for breakthrough, seeking for favor, every day you are calling for blessings. What you are doing is that, and most of us, when a breakthrough comes, we leave the church and go out there because we have money, we spend, and when it finishes, we come back to church again. But to be a son is to be responsible enough to want to build on the inheritance. That is why you come to church, not because of a miracle, but you have come to build a church. Oh, can I talk to somebody here at all? How much more us? Listen, if you truly know who you are as a son of God, please, let me shift your mentality. Don't go for the accumulated riches of the inheritance. Go to extend and increase it. That is why he gave us one assignment: go into the world and make disciples for me. It wouldn't be about just miracles and prosperity and blessings and favor. No, sir. Go and build, increase the kingdom for me. Increase it. If you truly know you are a son, then continue the inheritance. Build it up. There were people whose parents left them with $1 billion and they now have $30 billion. But there were those who were left with $30 billion and now is left with $1 billion. And most of us have such mentalities of irresponsible sons. We were left with many things, but today we are going down. The body of Christ keeps compromising. Do you see what we were left with? When Ananias and Sapphira even lied, they died. Even lying. What we were left with is what Paul told the Corinthian church: let it not be named once among you that somebody fornicated in the church. That is what we were left with. But today, what we have is that pastors are on pulpit defending immorality in the name of grace. What we were left with was the Ephesian church. What we were left with were people who were desiring that the eyes of their understanding will be open, that they will know the riches of the glory of the inheritance and the power. What we were left with is a certain attitude of Paul, that I may know him to a point that I will conform to his death. That is what we were left with. But today, what do we have? What do we have? What we were left with were men. The Bible says that I bear the mass of the death of Christ in my body. He said, I share in his suffering, even unto his death. That is what we were left with. Men who were not afraid to defend the kingdom until they die. That is what we were left with. But today we have diluted the inheritance to a point that all we are looking for is money, blessing, favor, opportunity. Is that all God can give? What kind of son are you? What kind of son are we? What we were left with were men who were beaten for the sake of Christ, and the Bible said that they rejoiced. They rejoiced because they have suffered for Christ. Today, if you preach set messages, they are saying that you are making the children of God sad. It's not grace. How devilish. What we were left with was humility. A certain Philip will go and work miracles and win a whole city and come back to Peter, his bishop, and tell Peter, come and do your part. That is what we were left with. But today, what do we have? One small pastor gets 30, 50, 100, 500 congregation, and he can insult an archbishop, insult a bishop, because he too, God is using him. What we were left with is a certain Paul who came to meet Peter. Is that all? When souls are perishing, can I tell you something? The kingdom has nothing to do with our buildings. It has nothing to do with our cars. It has nothing to do with our promotions and our status in society. It has everything to do with the salvation of men, the increasing of souls for God, the increasing of sons for God. What you will be celebrated about in heaven are the souls. The Bible says that for the soul winners shall be like a sun, a star shining. What kind of son are you? Everybody can be like the prodigal son who didn't care what happens. I've got in mine, I'm gone.